Hey everybody, this is Andy. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make your own plastic worms for fishing using Bondo, some leftover fishing worms, a little bit of cardboard, and some plexiglass. I'll show you how it works. Alright, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to pick out 3 worms that I'd like to make. Use some cardboard. I decided to use cardboard with a glossy inside, so hopefully it won't stick as much. A piece of plexiglass, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to super glue down the worms. I'm going to mix up some of the Bondo. I'm going to pour the Bondo on top. It should harden, and tomorrow I should be able to pull out the worms and use that as my mold. So you can see that this worm here, when it was manufactured, it does have a flat side, and they manufactured this a similar way that I'm showing you here today. These two here, you can see they're completely round. This is a 2-piece mold, and this one probably had some type of ejector that would push it through. So ours are going to come out more like this one here. So I'm going to take some super glue. I'll glue down this green worm first. I definitely want to try to keep this tail nice and flat against the plexiglass. They're all a little bit different, so make sure you read the instructions. I have the hardener. And you do have a limited amount of time with these. Probably should be wearing gloves. So once you've got your hardener worked in, you can start to pour this into the mold. It does seem like it's going to be too stiff to harden, but over time, it's going to sit for about 24 hours. It should settle to the bottom of this mold and cover all the crevices inside the worms. Floss off! I think Betty's back there. Oh, I'm getting cramped. I get cramped. She's still going. She's still going. Oh, Dana's killing it. So it's nice and hard. See if I can pull this apart. You can see my worms right in there. Hopefully they'll slide right out and we'll find out. Alright, they're peeling right out of there. Get the tail design. All the ribs. Not bad, there's my mold. So what I have here is some grubs. They're really small ones. I've never really used them. I have some of the leftover scrap from the mold that I'm going to throw in there as well. You can see there's a bunch of different colors. You can play around with that. But what you can really use is down the road is if you hold on to the worms that have been chewed up by the fish, you can use those to recycle them and make your own worms. You can also buy this this type of plastic online. I may try it, but I think it's kind of cool that I'm using, you know, stuff that's been sitting in my tackle box for a long time I haven't used. I'm also going to use some glitter. You're going to need some scissors. I have a just a regular skewer for barbecuing. The point's very helpful, and it's nice and long to get inside the jar. And you probably want a pot holder or a rag or something to hold the bottle. This is an old bottle. I think it was olives or something like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to microwave this for about 1.5 minutes. I'm going to add the glitter, and then I'll microwave it for another minute after that. The disclosure is, you know, every microwave is different, and the amount of worms you put in there also is going to vary. Alright. The other thing I failed to mention is you probably want to put a piece of wax paper or something on top so it doesn't... I haven't seen it explode yet, but I'm sure you don't want this on the top of your microwave. So it's been 1.5 minutes. You can see it's still kind of somewhat in parts, but some of it is liquidy. I'm just going to mix it a little bit, and I'm going to add a little bit of my gold glitter here. Looks good. A little mix. Alright, so another minute. It's nice and liquidy now, and you got to work pretty fast. This stuff does harden pretty quickly. So try to follow the mold. Anything that drips outside of the mold, you're going to have to cut off later with scissors. You can always go back a little bit as long as it's liquidy and fill it back in. Hopefully you got enough to fill this last worm up. Looks pretty good. Alright, now you wait. Doesn't take too long to harden. Anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. You start to kind of pull it up. The skewer is actually pretty helpful. Alright, so I let it cool for about 5 minutes. This stuff is pretty remarkable. Everything's going to peel right off the jar. I can go through and clean this all off and actually reuse it in the next batch that I'm going to make. I'll go through and clean it up later. Alright, so to remove these, again, the skewer is a pretty good tool for this. I'm going to try to peel underneath it. Go nice and slow. If you do have it attached to the other worm, try to cut it and break it. You can see that it records the detail of that original worm really, really well. Let me take this light on for you. Be careful with the tails, it's really thin rubber. You can rip it. Got really good recording of that one. Just basic mold making. Once you're done, you may want to trim these up a little bit. Personally, I'm not sure if the bass really care if there's a little flange filling over here, but it might react a little bit differently on the water. So I have these little detailed scissors that I found on part of the finger. It's pretty pliable. But you can trim them up, make them look however you want. But you have a very good source to creating a custom worm, like I said, with the glitter, with the colors, maybe with the shapes. I'm considering maybe making my mold with a shape that I want, that maybe no one's ever dreamed of before. I'm also thinking about possibly using some crawfish or maybe an actual fish and putting it in there, making a mold of that. But there's a lot of possibilities to this. I think it was kind of a fun little thing to do. And I like having these worms that are kind of custom made. And I can't wait to catch my own fish off a worm that I pull. Alright, finished product. I'm proud of this. And I can't wait to catch some fish with these. Fun hobby. I had a good time making the mold, pouring the worms, filling them up, and seeing how the detail came out. You can save yourself some money. It's a little bit of work, but I've seen some of the custom worms that have hooks embedded into them for over $2 a piece. And bags of worms go anywhere from $4 to $8 a piece. So you could save yourself some money, but I think it's more importantly a cool way of customizing what you're going out onto the lake, stream, or pond with and catching your own fish. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, hope you learned something, and like my site, like this video, look for others to come.